Hello villagers, and welcome back to another video here in Stacy's Random POV. And hello to you if it's your very first time being here. Welcome, it's so great to have you. And you already know, once you hit that subscribe button, you automatically become a member of this village. The Under the Influence podcast came back. They came back after Esther said, I don't know if you guys remember my previous video. Here's it is. This is how it looks. If you guys haven't already, check it out. I was a little angry on that video, but I am not sorry for what I said. I said what I said. Esther, you can kick rocks. Now, before I get into it, I have to say this, my disclaimer. This is just my opinion and my opinion only. I am not saying anything to incite the public or create any hate or anything of the sort against these people. Now, with that already out of the way, right? So in a few weeks ago, Esther said that stupid statement about black people. If you don't remember, here's a clip of it.
You might have to cut it out, but anyways, someone said that the reason why some girls' vagina is tighter than others is because, huh? No. It has nothing to do with that. They said that it's because, like, ethnicity-wise, like black men have, are known to have larger dicks, so therefore the women have
that makes sense.
Bigger holes.
So now, after she said that stupid thing, cricket. They did not say anything. However, people online, on TikTok and on X and on Instagram and all of those social media places were like kind of digging out stuff about those other guys that are also in the podcast. They were saying that they're all bird brains. They are not as wise as people think that they are, that they're very problematic, and so forth and so on. And because of that, in this brand new video that they just dropped a few days ago, they were basically, all of those guys were apologizing for their specific behavior. It was like a whole apology tour. It was the craziest and the cringiest thing to watch. I literally watched it on TikTok off of somebody else's account who is not related to them. So basically, I just got the video of somebody who took their stream and put it in their page, basically. Just because I don't want them to get any credit from my viewership and from my engagement. With that already being stated, what was I gonna say? So they were all apologizing. They were all very much apologetic. They were apologizing for everything that they've done. I'm sure you guys have seen it. I'm gonna play it right after my commentary, and then I'm gonna add more of my commentary into the mix because I have something to say in the midst of that. I have something to say. Like, I just do. And then after that, I'm gonna play other creators' point of view and their opinion about this matter, because honestly, nobody, and I mean nobody, bought their apology. Hey Esther, because your apology was like, okay, I'm sorry. It wasn't genuine. It felt weird. It felt like you didn't even want to do it. You should have taken pointers from a PR person that can teach you how to properly apologize so that it can actually seem genuine. But you're not going to do that, just like you didn't do the proper research to speak with an actual black woman before you said the disgusting, disparaging things that you said. But with that already out of the way, I'm gonna leave it here. I don't want to have to say too much about these people, because honestly, how much more can we take as black people? Honestly, especially black women, we get attacked for literally just being us, for just breathing, for just wearing our hair, for wearing box braids, for wearing our hair out, for being proud of our hair, for being proud of ourselves, for being happy. We get demonized for everything. But with that being said, I'm gonna leave it here. Like I said, this is just already disappointing, but I have more commentary to say. I hope you guys stick around.
Yeah,
I want to take this moment to sincerely apologize for a topic that I brought up. Um, it wasn't my view or opinion, but I understand that even bringing it up was super inappropriate and harmful. And I've heard so many of you guys, especially in the Black community and among...
See, now she was starting off, sounded a little genuine, but watch when everything falls apart. Check this out.
Black women, and like, I'm just sorry for perpetuating a harmful stereotype, and moving forward I will no longer bring up any...
Now notice how her tone kind of got more aggressive after she said the words black women,
and like, I'm just sorry for perpetuating a harmful stereotype, and moving forward I will no longer bring up any topics that could be harmful to anybody. I mean, we're all Asian, and we've dealt with like pretty hateful like stereotypes as well,
and that's where she lost me. As soon as she says, as Asians, and we dealt with such and such, ma'am, we didn't bring you guys up. We didn't talk about y'all. We didn't bring out whatever stereotypes you motherfuckers were going through. Excuse my French. Very irate when I'm talking about this type of topics. We didn't bring y'all up. So why are you so comfortable to bring up a bullshit, bogus stereotype that you yourself don't even know for a fact to be true? Like I said, they need to be treated like shits and sticks, chits and gigs, whatever the fuck, and they need to be canceled. They shouldn't have even made this entire video. They shouldn't have even came back to Beyonce's internet because, baby, I don't take their apology. I don't accept it. And I'm going to do like I did to shits and gigs. They are blocked. I don't care for their shit. And fuck them. But check out this other TikToker. She has something interesting to say. So just hear her out. And then I'll be back with whatever else I got to say.
I don't know, I will always be biased when it comes to apologies coming from influencers or people who have platforms, because I feel like 100% of the time when it comes to apologies, it's always going to be coming off as insincere, not really knowing like what they're apologizing for, and on top of that, it just kind of feels like I end up hating the person 100% again. On top of not mentioning about the whole Drew situation at all, but very dismissing about like the entire situation about the racist comment in general is very weird, because I just wish like when it comes to apologies, they would reiterate and like restate like what they said, and then maybe mention a few things from other creators that like of calling them out basically of why they said was inappropriate, and like they would learn, you know, and educate others, as that's the whole point of like a learning process, right? And these apologies just come off so insincere, especially because she's dismissing this issue by bringing up the fact that she's also a person of color. But it's just weird. It's not an excuse. And on top of that, this is why intersectionality is so important, because although like, yes, East Asians also go through some fetishizations and emasculations, it's very different from the experiences of Black people. And I will always stand by this, that in no way, shape, or form are death threats ever appropriate, and she did not deserve any of that. But that entire thing should not be used as an excuse to victimize yourself in this situation when you've hurt so many other people.
Ding, 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 ding. Thank you. This is exactly what I was getting at. It's ridiculous. It's pathetic, and the lack of backbone. And kudos to her, because she sounds like she's one of those people that actually look at all sides of the picture, like myself. It's hard to find like-minded people in a world where everyone seems to enjoy ignorance.
So this creator crashed out because of Esther and Under the Influence podcast, and I think it's over for that podcast, because the way that people are reacting to what Esther said is actually valid. It actually makes sense why people are crashing out. This creator said that next time she sees her, it's on site, and she wasn't even playing. And am I mad because of that? No, I'm not mad. My For You page on Reels is dark humor. What she said was so out of pocket that it even passed dark humor. It was that statement she said past everything I have seen that I in my For You page that makes me go like, whoa, that's a little on the line there. It's crazy what she does, bro, or what she was able to do. She made a whole group of women mad at her. Tell me what you think about this, because what she said was...
This is why I always say we have to nip it in the bud now, before it gets to become a learned behavior.
Do I have to do this? Seriously? Fine. Oh, are we rolling? I am so sorry. I'm so sorry that I repeated some words that I heard somewhere. I'm so sorry that I repeated some harmful words. Apparently, I can't say that. I'm so sorry. I gotta say some more shit? I don't know. I guess I'll just never repeat anything I ever heard ever again.
Basically, this is the gist of her fucking apology. Like I said, they should have said nothing and try to move on with dignity, with some self-respect, and along the way, like, try to fix what they just done. Like, nobody wants to hear y'all. Y'all the new chits and gigs.
Because it's just so harmful. I'm so sorry. I mean, for fuck's sake, we're all Asian. What? Oh, I shouldn't curse. Okay. I mean, like, we're all Asian, and so we've dealt with shit too. So, like, come on, guys. Like, I know how harmful this shit is. But, you know, I know that it's impacting you guys, and our sponsors are starting to send some nasty emails. But anyway, I'm like, so sorry. Damn. I mean, this shit doesn't even fucking matter because you guys are gonna hate us regardless. Like, y'all gonna hate us whether or not we say sorry. People have been pressing for us to say sorry. So anyway, to those of y'all that fuck with me, thank you so much. I love all of you. Thank you. Ugh, post that shit so that they can get the fuck over it. Shit. They always complaining about some shit.
It's just disgusting behavior altogether. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm good on them. But check this next creator out. Like, her point of view is completely spot on. And like I told you guys on all of my other videos, I appreciate a well-read girly. A girly who got her T's crossed and her I's dotted. And this is one of these girlies, baby. I give you the next
problem with people who think and believe like Esther on the Under the Influence podcast is that they don't think that people care enough about Black women to call them out when they say things that are discriminatory and problematic. She thought that joke was appropriate because she didn't think anybody would care about us, because people are allowed to slander us and to talk about our body parts as if we are less than human. As a matter of fact, she thought that because no one cares about Black women globally, her joke would have been deemed as funny to the majority of the people who consume their content, including Black men. In that apology video, one of the things that was stated was, we have too many people that watch us. We should be more cautious about what we say. You didn't know that? You ain't know that? You ain't know that? The problem is not that you should be more cautious. The problem is, oh, we've even expanded into people who would care about certain things like that. Oh, we're not just talking to the type of people that are okay with bigotry. My bad. Our videos have gone to a place where people might actually care about these things. It wasn't that you said it at all. It was you underestimated your reach. You thought everybody who was following you and monitoring your content thought just like you. You were banking on misogyny and hypermasculinity to back you up.
I'm gonna say it one more time. I don't know about you guys, but I am good on them. I didn't know them either. So before this, I just got pissed because of what Esther said. So either technically, no, they're not banking off of my viewership and participation. However, they do pop up in my FYP, and that would also grant them engagement rules and rights and whatnot. However, I am no longer gonna have them anywhere unless somebody else is gonna talk about whatever they've done. But if you want to see the rest of her video, go check her out on TikTok. Her name is on the screen right there. And yeah, let's continue. There's one more. Check this out.
So, Under the Influence apparently apologized, and it's kind of shitty, only 7 minutes, and I will give you the rundown. Wu Talk apologizes for his comments that he made about the Korean woman who was abused in Korea and victim blaming. And then Esther apologized for her comments about Black women.
I told you that the whole entire video is them apologizing for all of the shitty stuff they've done and said about women, men, colored women, people that are also Asian but not in their specific country, from their specific country. Like, they're just a group of nasty kids. Like, seriously, their parents need to take their shit and smack the crap out of them.
They did not apologize about their disparaging comments about Drew and women in general. So clearly they believe those things and stand by them, because that was the thing that blew up their podcast in the first place, was their mistreatment of Drew and their behavior around the topic of women. But they didn't talk about that at all. So clearly they believe those things. They don't care. Esther looked mad the whole time. Like, she looked like she was being put in timeout and she was being forced to apologize. They somehow make it about themselves and are playing the victim, saying, oh, we're getting death threats, blah, 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 blah. Their apology essentially was, if you were offended by this, we're sorry. So sorry that you're offended, but I don't think they actually care or learned about the reasons why people were offended or wanted to do better. They were just mad that they got caught. They kept saying things like, oh, well, you know, we took for granted how much of an audience that we have, and we have a bigger reach now. Like, what a weird way to try and hype up your podcast.
Exactly, because they don't care. They never care. They've always been with the shits. They never had anything positive to contribute. Everything that they talk about in our podcast is problematic. But I'm not going to let the whole thing play. You guys check her out. And yeah, check out this other one.
Hey, so I wanted to take a second to talk about the Under the Influence podcast apology. I feel obligated to say something just because I'm a person of color. My ex-husband was Korean, a SoCal Korean. So I was brought into a lot of those spaces and areas in California. They're pretty like homogenous. Like it's Irvine is like all Korean, Chinese, Vietnamese. Garden Grove, predominantly Vietnamese. A lot of those places in OC are predominantly Asian. And in the years that I spent in that relationship and all the times that we went to California, I didn't see a lot of black people. And I don't want to generalize like Asians in SoCal, but the way that the individuals on that podcast communicate is very, like, is the norm. And they're surrounded by people who also think and talk like that, which is sad. I spent a lot of my time, like, when we go there, like, being the spokesperson of black people or getting fielded very, like, ignorant questions or being witness to, like, the N-word being utilized, like, as a norm because it's trendy and cool and edgy. Like, there's a lack of exposure for them, in my opinion, not to, like, justify anything that they did or said. Like, at the end of the day, what they did and said is, like, in my opinion, unacceptable. And if you support that podcast, you probably should stop. Because clearly in that apology, they don't support or care about your opinion.
That is right. She hit the nail on the head. So first, I'm sorry for her situation because I'm sure it's not easy to deal with such an environment where you're not celebrated but only tolerated. I don't wish that, not even to my worst enemy. But I don't want to play everything she has to say on regards to the so-called SoCal Asians. I have another message at the end, so I don't want to play her whole video. But if you guys want to see it, check her out. Her name is right under the TikTok logo on the video. So check her out. She's a great story, and she has such a strong message to say. But I'm not going to say it here because it's going to take away from her overall message. So go check her out.
Okay, y'all, let's all watch this apology made by Esther from the Under the Influence podcast.
Yeah, I want to take this moment to sincerely apologize for a topic that I brought up.
Yeah,
it wasn't
it
my view or opinion, but I understand that even bringing it up was super inappropriate and harmful.
Pause. So it wasn't her view or her opinion, but she brought it up just because, and started giggling with it. Okay.
Up was super inappropriate and harmful, and I've heard so many of you guys, especially in the black community and among black women, and like, I'm just sorry for perpetuating a harmful
Rather than a harmful stereotype, it is a blatant display of racism. Like, what's not clicking? Like,
I mean, we're all Asian, and we've dealt with, like, pretty hateful, like, stereotypes as well, and I should have known better because I've been hurt by those too, you know?
I get what you're saying, but right now you're basically victimizing yourself and being like, I know too, because I'm Asian. And it's true. Of course, Asians have gone through racism, stereotyping. Like, it's very true, but, like, is now the time? I feel like you're more concerned about the money that's potentially, drifting away rather than the sincerity of this apology.
Yeah, I don't know what to say other than that. I'm really sorry.
Yeah, I think that's the whole point here is that, like she said, we're all human.
Yes, of course. We are all humans, but we are not all racist.
I love this. And her ending is just a cherry on top because, baby, how do you turn an apology into a self-pity party? And why do they always feel comfortable to do this to black women?
Okay, goodbye.
You know, I made a video like a year ago talking about the SoCal, like, Asian American podcasts. And now that these people are getting called out and they're getting canceled, yeah, I knew it. You know, low-key being a hater pays off. It does when you think about it. Because I knew these people were already problematic. I've heard, like, some things, speculation, whatever. Like, I knew the time was ticking for them. someone was gonna say something real batshit crazy, and then the internet is gonna be like, nope, this is the last straw we've had.
I'm not trying to be mean or start anything, but when I was watching this video and I looked in the comments under this video, you should have seen all of the comments of other Asians talking about how their family, when they're friends with black people, how they like replaced their names, their first names, and then added Blackie to it. Like she had a boyfriend named Jermaine Johnson, and they would call him Blackie Johnson or some shit like that. And like, I'm like, why? Like, why the fuck would y'all think this is okay? But let's hear else what else she gotta say, and then I'm gonna be back. Just listen to this mess.
And with Under the Influence, I'm not surprised about it at all. Like, just the way a lot of them speak, they speak very lowly educated, if I'm gonna be honest. It's just, and they really set back a lot of Asian Americans, to be very honest, and it's kind of sad, but it's also kind of true. Like, unfortunately, like, this obviously does not represent every single Asian American. It doesn't even represent the SoCal people, because I know there's SoCal Asians that's like, no, that's not me, that's not us, you know, and they already get a bad rep.
And this is technically what I don't like. If you guys are not all like that, what are you doing to stop the ones that you guys know are like that?
But I don't know what it is down there in that air or whatever, but a lot of them just don't know when to shut the fuck up. I'm not gonna go into the suburb talks because that's a whole nother can of worms. They're treading on thin ice also, to be honest, but you know what? Do what you will with that information. People are gonna be like, because I've seen so many comments of people like, oh, I knew I could trust them. We'll see about that. We'll see.
Trust is a very, very strong word, but yeah, let me know what you guys think down below. If you've gotten this far, please don't hesitate to hit that subscribe button so you become a member of my village.
The people from this Under the Influence podcast are praying, hoping that we forget. But I don't know if you've seen from Euphoria, babes, once you cross that line, babe. And the lack of response is just crazy. Like, say something!
This was literally the morning of when they decided to go and do that stupid apology video. But check this out, this morning. Okay, so I'm just here to say, guys, in conclusion, I'm not gonna be here and, you know, just be angry, because I'm over that. I'm over being angry. Now it's time to have the most important conversation. And the most important conversation that people should be having is to those Asian people. And I'm not talking about all of them. I'm not grouping you Asian people in one category, right? I'm just asking for you Asian people that say you ride for us and that you like us and you appreciate our contribution and you rock with us and you do all of this for us, right? I want you to have this type of conversation with your family members, with your friends, with the people in your community. Like, what kind of work are you doing? What kind of conversation are you having with these said racist people? Like, what are you doing in your part to end this kind of stereotype in conversations, right? Are you just nodding along? Yeah, no, they're not like that. No, they're not like that. Or are you literally just putting your feet down, your foot down, or maybe both feet need to be down, right? But are you literally putting your foot down on these people's necks and like, no, this is bullshit. I'm not even going to sit with you. I'm not even going to hang out with you if this is what you think. Like, this is ridiculous. We should all know better. We should all do better, right? So when are we going to start having these conversations? When are we really going to get to the root of this situation, of this problem, and actually nail it in the head? But when you guys are ready to have that conversation, I'll be here. In the meantime, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And if you've gotten this far, please don't hesitate to hit that subscribe button. Because once you hit that subscribe button, baby, you become a member of this village. And you love this village. You appreciate this village. Because, baby, it takes a village. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.